following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors. I'm your host. And tonight I got a very special guest, the owner of King's Wrestling School.
Kings of Wrestling.
Kings of Wrestling School. Already messed that up.
Good job, Leo. What's up, bro?
Thank you.
How are you?
Third time, right? Came by yourself and then with Matt one time.
Yes,
and now here.
third time, yeah.
You were actually on with Derek a long time ago.
Yeah, that was the first time, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we had a lot to cover, but first I just want to, we'll do this a couple times, but you have a big seminar coming up on February 2nd with Louis Demon Ortiz.
Which is my head trainer at the school.
Okay, and that's Sunday, February 2nd from 12 to 3 p.m.
Correct.
You can always check out the school if you have any questions on Facebook. You can ask some questions and stuff, but and that's at 28 Oceanfront Street in Salisbury, Mass.
Correct, yep.
Excellent. Mike, we got a lot of fan questions, so let's get them right out of the way.
Oh, boy.
Some of them we're not going to ask because some of them were very silly, so I apologize in advance, but you should make them more serious. All right, Anthony Mark Balkas, one of APW's biggest fans. What made you buy the wrestling school?
I didn't really, I kind of just took it over. Joe Moakley and Michael Morris were on the fence about closing it down because they weren't. It's kind of hard to run a wrestling company and a wrestling school at the same time.
Right.
I was one of the trainers there. Demon Ortiz is the head trainer there. So I just said to them, let me take it over. I'll take full responsibility for it. And off we went.
Nice.
So I took it over in July of 2019, and I made the name change in December.
Nice.
So.
Okay. And he has a follow-up question. Is there anyone in APW who have not wrestled or anything you have not done that you still want to?
At this stage of the game, I would love to wrestle Dana Miles at least once.
Right.
I've been in the ring with Demon a few times. I know a couple years ago I announced I was retiring, but we all know how that works.
Right.
Don't we? So right now I'm having fun.
All right. Well, seeing that he asked about wrestling and stuff, you still wrestling, I got to bring it up. It was mentioned here last Monday by Michael Morse that you're taking on the Kingpin, not the Brawler Malonis, but the Kingpin, Brian Malonis, this Saturday night.
Let's get it straight now, okay? It's not me that's taking on. It's my, how should I say, the dark side of my head. And, APW wanted to push the buttons of me as Stiff Mike, and they suspended me indefinitely.
Right.
So I figured I let somebody out to play. And now I'm being challenged by the Kingpin, Brian Malonis.
Right.
So we're going to play January 25th. He wants to play with tables. He knows me a long time. He should know better than that. But we'll see what happens.
And that is a tables match.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And we are looking forward to it.
Right. And we're gonna discuss that a little more after, but I had to bring it up right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Dave Delafontaine, who's a big supporter of this show, what are your goals as a teacher for the newer generation of potential professional wrestlers?
Well, I get this question asked to me a lot, honestly, in the shoot sense. And I'm just trying to give back to the business.
Right.
I'm trying to teach the new kids to respect the business the way I was taught to respect it. And the way I was taught to respect it is a lot different than what I'm doing now. A lot of the kids coming in, you can't really try to break them.
Right.
But you can see how far you can push them, what they can take, what they can't take, their maturity level.
Right.
I mean, I have a few that are 19, 20 years old, and sometimes I have to babysit. But other than that, it's going pretty good.
Nice. Okay. Jared Doomling wants to know, which persona do you prefer, Stiff Mike or Apocalypse?
Well, Stiff Mike is just me and turn the dial up to like 11.
Right.
Apocalypse, I kind of like better because I can basically, how can I say it? Let the little demons out to play, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
So I kind of like doing Apocalypse a little bit better.
Okay. Matthew McGee, Freight Train, wants to know, when teaching new students, how long before you see whether or not they have what it takes to be a pro wrestler? I would imagine it would be different strokes for different people.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It all depends on the person.
Right.
I mean, I have one person, his name is Cam, that came into the school within a couple weeks. I knew he had what it takes. He's very athletic and he wants it. And then there's other people, it takes a little bit longer.
Right.
I usually give them about a month. If I feel like they can't do it within a month, and believe me, I'll be the first one to say, you don't belong in the ring.
Right.
So
at least you're honest with them,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So not wasting everybody's time.
I mean, I also have, like I said, I have Demon Ortiz who trains there. Amato, Sethron, he trains on Wednesday nights.
Yep.
So we try to talk as much as we can about the students and try to stay on the same page. I mean, it's different flavors of ice cream, you know. Lewis and I are from Killer Kowalski's, and Sethron was a product of Steve Bradley. So, I mean, it's all the same when it boils down to.
Yep.
We're trying to teach basics and footwork and everything that you need to do to be in the business and teach them how to pay their dues as well.
Right. That's a great group of the three of you together.
Yeah,
That really is. All right. And George Resnick Jr. wants to know, what are some companies that you'd like to wrestle for this year that you haven't been to yet? You've wrestled pretty much all around, back.
Yeah.
He did say one thing. Lucky Pro is good, which is good little company.
I've never worked for Lucky Pro Wrestling. I wouldn't mind going there.
Yep.
Limitless, I wouldn't mind going there. See what happens.
Right.
I plan on putting myself out there probably again to get booking, and we'll see what happens.
Right. Nice. Okay. David Baker says, why are you so stiff? I had to ask it though.
Well, actually, I'm not.
Right.
But so we're gonna kill two birds with one stone.
Okay.
So the reason why I got the name Stiff Mike, and this is actually a shoot.
Yep.
We were doing a punching drill at Kowalski's, and I was just learning. I was probably like a month in, and I knocked somebody's tooth completely out of their mouth across the ring. And of course, Kowalski stood up and said, "God damn it, that was stiff." And I got yelled at, and the name stuck. And he started calling me Stiff, and then with the boys like Jason Rumble and Bo Douglas and Wagner and Damon D'Arcangelo, they all started calling me Stiff Mike. And I figured I'd rib myself and use the name.
So it was really Killer, though, that said it first.
Yeah,
huh?
Killer's the one that gave me that name.
Nice.
He wasn't pleased with me that day, believe me.
Big Man Matooch wants to know, how did you come up with the Apocalypse character? That's a good question.
Well, I am and not to be honest, but I'm a huge comic book nerd. Like, I love the Marvel and stuff like that. And I took the name from the comic books. But Steve King was the one that gave me the idea about painting my face.
Okay.
Because when I first started wrestling, I had very bad stage fright. I mean, we've talked about this
we
before.
did talk about that.
And
which surprised me, honestly.
well, it took me a long time to get over that. You know? And I have a few students that have that anxiety about going out in front of a crowd. And I tell them the story how I would before I would go out, I would throw up like 2 or 3 times, and then I'd be fine. So it was a good way of hiding myself. And then it just turned into kind of like out of the Bible, some of the stuff that I for the longest time I never spoke. So and here and there I'll cut a promo, but it's basically biblical. So
Matthew Lightiza, that's how you pronounce his last name?
Yeah.
All right. You're so enthusiastic. Will you wrestle for one more year?
To be honest with you, I am going to wrestle as long as my body will let me.
Nice.
I mean, I'm 48 years old right now. I'm trying to get into better shape. I've lost some weight, and I'm going to keep going, and we'll see what happens. But probably for the rest of the year, probably one more year. We'll see what happens after that.
Nice. All right, on. Dan Boley asked this question. I'm just going to answer it because you said it's kind of hard you're being in the business and picking 5 good,
Yeah.
So Dan wants to know, in your opinion, can you rank the top 5 indie promotions in New England? There really isn't a top 5, but Chaotic Limitless, Lucky Pro,
APW.
Atlantic Pro Wrestling.
I mean, there's a lot of places. I mean, it's just that time of the year.
Yeah. XWA. How's that? There's 5.
Yeah.
All right. Adam Luce. One of the biggest independent wrestling fans that I know personally.
I know Adam.
Any memories of wrestling at Good Times in Somerville, which is a great wrestling building?
Looking up the lights a lot. I mean, that's where I broke in. I broke in with Tony Rumble, and actually I broke in with Tony Atlas first, and then Tony Rumble brought me in and tagged me with Trooper Gilmore. That was a good tag team.
Was it Criminally Insane?
No, that was
Was that the
Trooper
Outpatient?
and Outpatient.
Oh, okay.
We were called 5-0. It was Corporal
all right.
Johnson and Trooper Gilmore. Yeah, I mean, Tony Rumble basically gave me opportunities to work. And
Right.
the days of working at Somerville, good times, it was when they were doing TV tapings, it was all day. It was
Right.
from like 9 in the morning till like 7 at night.
Wow.
And it was like 3 or 4 shows.
Right.
So,
It's a long day.
yeah.
All right. Joey Kilmartin wants to know, what do you plan to offer at Kings Up Wrestling School?
That's twice, Leo.
I know.
That's twice.
I know, so don't hit me. That will differ you from other schools in New England.
I'm not trying to differ myself from other schools. I'm just trying to give somebody an alternative. I'm basically trying to run it like it was at Kowalski's. Just respect for the business.
Right.
I'm not in competition with anybody.
Right.
I'm just trying to give my piece back. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Yep.
Since I started in the business, probably about 5 or 6 years in, I always wanted to teach.
Right.
So I just bided my time. The opportunity came for me to get my own school, and that's where I'm at.
Nice.
I'm just, like I said, I'm an alternative.
Right. Okay.
Different flavors of ice cream.
Absolutely. And you definitely were excited to answer this question from Mav. Was Heath Ledger better in A Knight's Tale or The Dark Knight?
Well,
2 good movies.
yeah. Well, hands down, The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I just watched The Joker.
Yeah, I did too.
The other day. So Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix are neck and neck right now.
Right. They both did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched it over the weekend with my grandson.
It was great. It was
great movie. And it's so different.
And they planted it in 4, because I'm a comic book nerd.
Yeah.
So they took it out of one of the original comic books where it is actually the Joker who killed Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And Bruce Wayne's parents.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I really like that. And it was kind of cool how how he met little Bruce.
Yep.
Bruce Wayne. I really enjoyed that movie a lot. All right, Brickhouse Baker. Would you ever invite other trainers from other schools to be a guest at the academy?
Absolutely.
At the Kings of Wrestling School.
Absolutely.
All right.
I have an open door policy. Anybody who wants to come work out, I have a drop-in fee for $25.
Nice.
Come down.
Yep.
I'll do an open ring. Anybody want to come down? I honestly believe that we all should be working together.
Absolutely.
I mean, independent scene is what it is.
Right.
But I have an open door policy. I have no heat with anybody.
Right.
You want to come work out at my school? All the more welcome.
I do know that you had Mike Hollow there already one time, the very
few
first
times.
night that I was doing the concessions at APW.
A few times, yep.
Nice. All right, Brian Privatera. This is a serious one. If you could have done anything differently in your career, what would it have been?
Not let it get to my head.
Okay.
Be more humble.
All right.
And it took me, like I said, the last time we were here, it took me a while to realize I had to fix my reputation in the business. Right. So who I am now is who I should have been when I first started. But again, this kind of business gets to everybody at one point. It's one point in the business. I don't care who you are.
Right.
It will. People are asking for autographs. There's little kids coming up to you. It blows your head up a little bit.
Right. All right. And he has follow up on it. Let's see. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, physically and professionally?
Physically, hopefully, be able to walk.
Right.
No, seriously, I don't know. Not professionally, I'm hoping my school is going to the point where I don't have to work a regular job that much, but it's independent wrestling.
Right.
That's very hard. I'm realistic. So I just want to keep going with my school and see what happens.
Okay. Damon Farah. First off, looking forward to seeing you Saturday night in Beverly for their first show in Beverly for APW. Are you more comfortable as Apocalypse or Stiff Mike? You kind of just answered the second ago.
Yeah, I am more comfortable as Apocalypse.
Okay. Todd Graham. Talk about running your own shows in the future.
I kicked it around.
Yeah.
Maybe, but right now, no.
Okay.
Right now I am working with APW. So that's where I'm staying for right now.
Okay. This question's from the handsome one, Evan Hatch. Could you describe the story from Ox Baker show when you broke a chair over a very handsome gentleman's head like a stiff ass?
I saw this earlier.
I have a feeling the handsome one must have been a guy named Evan Six.
So when I met Ox Baker, he fell in love with my gimmick, and every time I worked,
believe that.
he wanted to manage me. And
Right.
he got me riled up at this particular show, and the handsome one was sent in to do a run-in. And I turned and hammered him with a chair, and the top piece of the chair completely broke off and ended up in the front row of the crowd. And I felt bad about it, but at the point, your adrenaline's going, you're in the moment, and I got Ox Baker yelling in my ear, kill him, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So again, apologize. I've been apologizing for 10 years, and you keep bringing it up. Why?
You know, the two of you guys,
Evan.
man.
I love Evan.
Used to both scare the crap out of me, though. Like when I first met you, went the apocalypse, and then when I met Evan, it was just freaking guy was scary.
Evan's one of my closest friends in the business. I love Evan.
Nice.
I do.
All right. Bo Douglas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How did Bo Douglas wrestle Apocalypse in his retirement match, but he's still wrestling? Was it an alternative universe like in comic books?
What, do I even need to comment on that? I just touched on it.
Right.
You never say never in this business. Next question.
All right.
Love you, Bo.
Joey Eastman. Do you think the name Stiff Mike hindered you in any way? No one wants to work with a guy that's stiff.
Again, as I said before, I'm actually not stiff. It's just, it was a rib on myself because of what happened at Kowalski's.
And a little joke I think Joey's throwing at the end. You could have had a WrestleMania moment maybe if you were light, Mike. All right. Gardner Browning. Buddy wants to know, what are some strengths or skills that pro wrestling has helped you develop that you've been able to utilize in other areas of your life?
Talking to people.
Yeah.
Just
The
dealing
shyness part too?
Yeah, I mean, just dealing with people in general.
Right.
Showing respect. You know, I mean, this. You know, when I first started in this business, I was wrestling WWE guys that were coming out like WWF guys, like Tony Atlas and the Iron Sheik and Chief Jay Strongbow, them guys.
Yeah.
So it's more about. I mean, I've learned to deal with people, talk to people, be humble. I mean, this business humbles you very quickly.
Okay.
So.
Sean James, never asked a question, but he's asking you one. Was there ever a time that you wanted to walk away from wrestling? I'm sure. Mm-hmm. If so, what kept you from leaving? Who or what kept you from leaving?
I was going through a rough patch in my personal life, and I was getting ready to walk away from the business. And Big Woody, God rest his soul, didn't really talk me into staying. Told me I was staying.
Right.
And have tons of respect for him. Love him to death.
Right.
He was, when I first broke in with NWA, he was there and he sat me down and he told me to get my head on my ass and you're staying where you are. So I mean, there was a time I wanted to walk away completely, just forget everything.
Right.
Because sometimes this business is like high school.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, definitely.
It really is.
Yep.
So it's a lot of politicking sometimes. And I personally don't know why.
Right.
We're independent wrestlers.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
It's not like we're making $1 million every night. So, but whatever.
Okay. Eric Dillon, any memories you have that stick out working with the Raging Bull Jr. and Atomic Ant from the Whaling City? And then he says, hey, Scott, I
never worked any one of them. Never worked for Whaling City.
No? Okay.
Never worked down there.
All right, how about the guy, this is coming from the guy, the very first inductee into the Atlantic Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, just retired himself, had his last match. Big Gun Jim Sargent, which do you prefer, tags or singles?
Singles.
Singles? Okay. Paul Giantz, is that how you say his name? Do you know Paul? Okay. I heard a story about Mike and a group of guys going to pick up a ring. There was problems getting the ring, and I think they almost drove off a mountain. If you could tell his version of those events, is that true?
No, yeah, but I'm not.
All right.
I'm not touching that one.
You ain't touching that one, Paul. Sonny Goodspeed got like 4 questions for you.
Yeah.
The first one is, what's the most rewarding part about running a wrestling school?
The most rewarding part of it is like, so seeing my guys progress and start working matches. So Cam got his first opportunity to work a singles match against Danny Miles, and it just made me proud.
Right.
It's like you see all the hard work that he's putting in, and we as trainers, And where have you been anyways? Speaking of that.
Right.
He's supposed to be going on Wednesdays. I haven't seen him.
Sonny, what's going on?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be there Wednesday nights.
So, but that part of, I scrolled right there, is definitely seeing them progress from not knowing how to bump to learning how to bump to learning how to tie up and do chain wrestling, and just up the ladder they go,
Right.
and then they're finally working.
Nice. Okay. What's the most difficult?
The most difficult, I think, is getting a commitment from some people. You know, a lot of these kids nowadays want all the glory, but don't want to put the work in.
Right.
And, you know, I've been questioned a few times, why do I make these guys do, from students, why do we have to do a ring crew? Why do we have to do security? Because it's paying your dues.
Right.
I did it. I was a 20-year veteran and I was setting up rings. It happens.
Yep.
It's part of the business.
Right.
If you want to work on a show and perform in front of people, you need to put the ring together.
Yeah.
It's paying your dues.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I think anybody that's, especially the first couple of years in even, should be definitely helping out.
But it's hard to get,
Right.
This generation's a lot different than when I came in.
Oh, absolutely.
If I be brutally honest, if I didn't do what was asked of me, I get a lesson in the ring.
Right.
And that's it. That's how it was done.
Or you wouldn't even be put on
Or
a show.
put on the show, or I would be told to go home.
Yep.
So, I run the locker room for APW, and I've had to send a couple of my students home because they decided they wanted to do dumb stuff. And I said, get your stuff and go home. Yeah. And it's not, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm trying to teach these kids the right way.
Right.
So when they go into other locker rooms like a MLW or an Evolve or even a Ring of Honor or an NXT or whatever, you have that foundation of respect for the business, shake everybody's hand, do what's asked of you to do, shut your mouth and listen.
Right.
And, again, if it makes me to be a jerk, I'm sorry, but that's how I was trained.
And I think it goes all the way back to Killer, how he treated you guys, to treat everything with respect.
Yeah, and again, back then, I was 26 years old.
Right.
And
yeah, you started a little later than a lot of kids.
I did. I started when I was 26.
Yeah.
And, I didn't get it at the time.
Right.
I didn't like Mike Hollow. And I told him that to his face one day. He rode me and pushed me for a reason.
Right.
And now 23 years later, I get it.
Right. And you got a much better relationship than probably at first when you wanted, when you didn't like him.
Mike and I talk, a couple times a week.
Nice.
So.
All right. Sonny also wants to know, do you have any students that are show ready? You sound like Cam.
The gentleman Cam, he's show ready. There's a few that I might be ready soon.
Nice.
But right now it's Cam that's ready.
Okay. And his last one is, how much longer do you have in the ring? You just already answered to
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. And last question of the night is from Joseph Bruin. Wants to know, any memories of UCW or IIW? Is that an IIW?
Yeah.
What company was that? I don't remember them.
He worked with them. It was Anthony Ruffo.
Oh, okay.
He worked. It was down in Rhode Island area.
Right.
Those are good times.
Good shows.
Yeah, good times. Traveling a lot, but good times.
I only met Anthony a few times. What a great guy he was, though.
Awesome
I mean, he
guy.
treated everybody like so good.
Him and Gino Martino used to beat the crap out of him. But it was
That's
great.
another guy, man.
Yeah.
Love Gino.
I just saw Gino at the Tony Rumble show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good turnout for you guys, like
Yeah.
boys-wise and all that.
Yeah. It was fun seeing everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I want to ask you, can you take me through a normal training day at the school?
Normal trading day. Well, Lewis is a little bit different. He's more. He does. He beats the kids up.
Right.
He puts them through the ringer, which is what I want. I
Right.
want them to get used to that. For me, Saturdays and Sundays I usually train. I start off. It's just repetitive bumping.
Right.
I run through some bump drills, some forward rolls, some run the ropes, stuff like that, just to keep their mind fresh. Because if they don't bump every day, and then when you go to take a bump,
Right.
sometimes you forget.
Yep.
How to protect yourself. And then
Tuck the chin.
tuck the chin. We do, now most of my students have been doing we do a couple matches at the end of class.
Okay.
But, chain wrestling, then I let them pick my brain, what they want to go over, what they want to learn, stuff like that. So I'm pretty much open.
Okay. That's awesome. I'm trying to start incorporating a little something different into my interviews.
Yep.
Like to know what you do when you're at home. So what do you watch for television?
I mean, I still watch Raw.
Yep.
I still watch. I watch NXT. SmackDown not that much because
Right. Friday nights.
yeah, AEW every once in a while.
Right.
I play video games sometimes. I mean, I just try to unwind.
You don't have like a favorite show like to watch every week?
It was the Mayans. I used to watch that all the time.
It's a great show.
But season's over, so
Right.
Law and Order.
Okay.
You know,
How about like a favorite movie? Got any favorite movies?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Okay. How about some of your favorite bands?
I'm open. I listen to a lot of stuff. ACD. Like I listen to a lot of rock.
Yeah.
96.9. I listen to a lot. Country. Like I said, I'm a mixed bag.
Okay. How about best concert you ever went to?
ACDC at Foxborough Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good concert.
Nice. I never seen AC/DC.
Yeah, I've only been to a few concerts
Yeah.
because I'm not really well in crowds. So
Right.
ACDC was one of them, and I had a good time there. And I did go to Kid Rock and Motley Crue at the Xfinity Center.
Okay. Nice. All right. Can I ask you this real quick too? AC/DC. Bon Scott, Brian Johnson. Or are they equal?
It depends. I like Brian Johnson a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. One more question on AC/DC.
Okay.
A lot of people say because Bon Scott died in 1979,
Right.
and within months they had the Back in Black album.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that a few of those songs were already written by Bon Scott.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah, I do too.
mean,
There's like,
yeah.
Giving the dog a bone. There's a couple
Yeah,
of them
there's a
that
few.
stand right out.
I think there's a few that were already written.
Okay, great. Before we get into the name game and stuff, let's talk about your big match you got coming up with Brian Malonis. Now, you guys have wrestled before?
I've known Brian since he started the business. Right. Yeah.
So
I have all the respect in the world for Brian. I'm
Right.
proud of him, what he's doing with Ring of Honor. But, so I came back. I brought up Hawkins back in October to Go Bonk.
right.
And him and I went at it. And from what I understand, he's been one that's been pushing for the match. So APW reached out to me, and I said, yeah, I'll let him out to play. So we're going to see what happens.
And it's nice to see Brian got renewed his contract with ROH.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, on the shoot side,
Yeah.
I mean, Brian is the nicest guy you could ever meet. I would do anything for him.
Right.
Utmost respect for him. He's making his own way in the business. He deserves everything he gets.
Right.
And honestly, I'm honored to work him.
Nice. All right. What do you think was the highlight of you in APW this year? Whether it's you in the ring or you just watching students or watching a show, is there anything that really stood out for you this year?
So far, the new year's starting, the new show's starting.
Right.
I think the Gil Blanc is one of the biggest shows for APW. APW's come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've definitely come a long way. The Gil Blanc was amazing.
Yeah.
And yes, I was the last entrant in it, but just the whole show from top to bottom.
Yeah, no, it was.
Great.
Yeah,
it was a great show. I like what Mike and Joe are doing. They're bringing new people in.
Yep.
You got to keep bringing fresh faces in because if not, they get used to the same talent. It gets stale, and then you're going to be like, okay, it's starting to get boring. So they're keeping the fans on their toes. You never know who they're going to bring in. So, I mean, right now it's going good, and hopefully they continue to progress upward.
Nice. And matter of fact, the last show, there was two guys there that I never expected to see in APW, which was Knuckles Nelson who was there for Big Gun.
Yep.
And Chase Del Monte, who's going to be there again this Saturday, teaming with Johnny Vegas against Nightbreed.
Yeah, and actually that was a very good surprise for the fans.
Yeah, definitely was.
Again, I love Chase too. So I mean, him and I had we talked a lot in the back, and it was good. It was a good experience. It's good. Like I said, I believe everybody should be working together. That's
Absolutely.
Just me,
And I think that tag team match is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
because Nightbreed is, if they're not the best tag team,
and they're in their
right
hometown,
now,
by the way.
Yeah.
So
I'm like I said, I'm
really
really looking
It's
forward.
going to be an interesting night next Saturday. Saturday.
It definitely is. And there's a couple women's matches too, because Vanity's got he told me. Do you remember who she's wrestling?
Kelly Copeland.
Yes. Kennedy Copeland.
Kennedy Copeland.
Yes. Who's definitely a young, up-and-coming young female wrestler.
So last year I got booked up in TIW out in the Pittsfield, North Adams area.
Okay.
One of my other students, Justin Case, he lives up there. he brought me in. He asked me to help him with a few things, and they have some good young talent there
Right.
too as well. I've ran into her. I've seen her work a few times. She's very good.
Yep.
So it should be a good match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And again, like I talked to you off here, that ladder match between Widow Belmont
Yeah,
and Angel Sinclair is
that's
really.
definitely gonna be a good match.
Yeah, I'm definitely
The
looking forward
card's
to that.
stacked head to
Yeah,
toe. It's gonna
absolutely.
It's gonna be good.
Well, you guys got a great group of guys, which most of them are on the name game.
Okay.
You know, is there anything else you want to bring up before we get into that?
Nope.
Okay. I know that you wrestled this guy because I watched the match this afternoon. Donovan Dijak.
Again, he's another person that got it quick.
Yeah.
You know, it's very hard he's a younger generation.
Right.
It's very hard to get it quick.
Yeah.
And he got it quick. I had a great match with him. I think he's an awesome guy, awesome talent. And believe me, I think this year's going to be his year.
I hope
he's,
so.
what, 6'7"?
Yeah, he's huge.
He's huge, and he's athletic.
Yeah.
Very athletic. Some of the stuff he does in the ring is just amazing.
Right. All right. Another guy that's on TV right now, kind of like Donovan Dijak, is you know him as Handsome Johnny Ivar
Yeah.
of the Viking experience,
Yeah.
Viking Warriors.
Yeah, I've known Handsome Johnny for a very long time. He actually started off with Jason Rumble when he had a school, and I actually got him going with bumping,
Nice.
and then he just progressed over to chaotic. So, which is good. It's another one. He made his own way in the business. A lot of injuries. Very proud of him. Couldn't be more happier than he's a big boy.
Yep.
Like me, and the stuff he does in the ring is amazing.
Would you agree that a lesser men have quit over things like everything that he's been through?
Yes.
You know?
Yes. But when I met him, he was 17 years old.
Right.
And I knew from the day I met him, he wanted to do this.
Right.
Because he never quit.
Yeah.
He never cried.
Right.
He never complained. You know, and back then, when Jason Rumble had a school and I was helped teaching there, and I was still green in the business myself, he took it. You know, he took it all like a sponge, and look where he is now.
And it's amazing how in this tag team where he's the bigger guy, but he's the high flyer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Raymond Rose, the powerhouse. But what a great tag team.
He is and I try to use him as an example for my students. You need to eat, sleep, and breathe professional wrestling.
And
that's the only way you're going to make it.
Right.
You can't have a job. You need to travel every weekend, go to different promotions, and get your name out there. And if you don't, WWE's not going to come to my door and say, hey, what do you got for me for students? This is not happening.
Yeah.
You got to self-promote yourself.
Right. Nice. All right. How about I just brought him up a few minutes ago, but he just retired. Big Gun Jim Sargent.
Big Gun is probably one of my other closest friend in the business and outside the business.
Right.
He's stepped up for me in my personal life. So I love Big Gun very much. He's a good worker. And the match he had with the other person, I'm not going to I'm just kidding. Jake Sargent. It was a good match. It was a good match.
It really was.
Yeah, it was a very good match.
I was going to ask you, were you disappointed at the way Jake treated Big Gun? Go ahead into it.
He's a little punk. What do you expect?
Okay. How about, let's talk about the Dynamite Death Squad. Danny Miles, Joe Moakley, Travis Gillette, Vern Vicalo. These guys are definitely going to be causing a lot of problems in the upcoming months.
Well, Joe Moakley, he is a natural born heel.
Right.
I'm a little surprised at Travis Gillette.
Yeah.
Vern Vicalo, I always knew he was like that. And Danny, they're all great.
Right.
All of them have great abilities in the ring.
Yep.
Joe is, like I said, he's just a natural heel.
Right.
He knows how to generate heat, and he's good at what he does.
Did you ever wrestle Travis's father, Jay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Any similarities between them? Do you see anything?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he was trained by his father.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely have some similarities to him. It makes me feel old because when the last time I wrestled his father, he was still little. So let's stop right there.
So, and that's the thing too. Travis is a little bigger than his dad.
Yeah, he's taller,
Man,
yeah.
but his dad was such a great talent. And this kid, man, sky's the limit. Honestly.
So, quick story.
Yeah.
When I first broke into the business, or first wanted to get into the business, I was like 25, 26 years old, 24 years old, I'm sorry. And I was at a show at Everett High School, the old Everett High School,
Yeah.
and Jay Gillette was on that show. And I'm like, I want to do this.
Nice.
And again, I've always been a mark for the business when
Yeah.
I was little,
Right.
ever since I started growing up. And then I realized that there was a person that wanted to train me. I'm not going to give him that name out.
Okay.
He's this. So,
Right.
and then I ended up getting hooked up with Kowalski. So.
Nice. Okay. How about Vern Vicalo's old tag team partner, former New England champion APW, if I'm not mistaken, Dan Terry.
Dan Terry's come a long way. He changed his gimmick.
Yeah,
which
I've
is,
seen that.
Which is good. Good kid, good worker. Have no issues. I love him. He's an awesome kid.
The American Hammer.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Okay. How about another Vicalo, Vince Vicalo?
Yeah, he was in my class with me.
Was he?
Yeah. Again, he doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, and he's living in the Midwest, I think. Even he doesn't even live around here, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it's on Facebook that I don't think he lives around here anymore.
I know he went on to be. I know he's in law enforcement now.
Yeah,
I know that.
Jason, let me know where you're living.
Yeah, I thought he was around here, but maybe you're right. But yeah, I remember when we were in school, he was a barber.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Wow.
And he's another one that did a lot of dark matches for WWE.
Yeah.
But it is what you know what I mean.
He had a great tag team with John Walters
Yes,
for
he
a
did.
while.
Yes.
That was a great tag team. All right, how about his name's been brought up a couple times already. Hey, kid, it's me, Jason Rumble.
Jason and I go back a long. Jason and I have been friends for 20-something years.
Right.
When I first started at Walters, he was there. Jason was in my wedding for my ex-wife and I. Jason is what he is. I love him to death. He's up in Maine. I haven't seen Jason since he moved to Maine. That was probably 5 years ago.
Right. Except for the Tony Rumble.
Yeah, it's the last time.
Right,
It's the first time I've seen him in
Yeah.
a while. So
And he's got 2 kids now.
yeah, he's got 2 kids. He's doing well.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. He's doing what he wants to do, and that's all that counts.
Nice. I love Jason too. How about Bo Douglas?
Bo Douglas is another one.
Another great trainer.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I consider them guys family.
Right.
Known them for a long time. Love Bo to death. We like to break each other's chops when we see
Right.
each other. He's got his thing going on at Belltime Club. He's doing well, and proud of him.
Nice. I didn't have this guy written down, but I need to add him. Dante Luna.
I've known Dante. Well, he's actually the picture that you put up on Facebook. He took.
Okay.
Great mind for
Yeah.
great photographer. I haven't really worked for him.
He did run at least one show. I think he's run 2, but that first show that he ran at the Irish American,
It didn't work that show. I wasn't there.
dude, it was packed. I mean, like I'd never seen
The
that.
kid knows how
building
to
so
promote,
packed.
I can tell you
He
that much.
definitely
He
does.
definitely does, yeah.
And he's great at doing documentaries. I like
Yeah.
to tell people that I really do believe this. That someday everyone's going to know his name.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
because he's a hardworking kid.
His name's out there right now. So which is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a guy that I know we both like. Just had a baby himself. Sam Amato.
Sam Amato, yeah. I met Sam when he was probably 17.
Really?
And it's actually when I took the book over for Ringside. It was
Okay.
called EWF, Everett Wrestling Federation. And he was there. And I've wrestled Sam a few times. Sam's an awesome kid.
What was the building that the rec? Was it the rec center?
It was
that
a
they
rec.
used to-
So they first started running shows at the Everett Wrestling, at the Everett High School.
Right.
Then they moved to the Everett Rec Center. Yeah.
Because I remember one night me and you were sitting there talking, and the matches were going on. And if you remember, but I had catered it. I did a small little catering thing for him.
Yeah.
And but Sam's a great guy.
Awesome kid. And he's got his gym going. It's great. I'm so happy for him.
Nice. All right. How about he does the commentary for APW. Big Mark Green. Somebody I know you've known
I've
for
known
so
him.
long.
Mark Green's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Another one I consider family. Great kid.
Right.
Great guy. He's got his family, his son. He's doing awesome.
Nice. How about Widow Belmont?
I love Kathy. She's again another one I consider family. Her John Poe is her brother. we were in our last match together, but
Yeah.
obviously didn't work out that way for me. He has not come back yet. So again, I've hung out with him outside of wrestling.
Right.
So
Yeah, John Paul, big dude, man. Big guy like you.
So here's a good one.
Yeah.
So I was working for Sheldon at the time, and George Carroll was the booker.
Yep.
And I think it was John was just coming back into the business, and Kathy came to me. She said, "Oh, you're wrestling my brother. Take care of him."
Right.
I let him beat the crap out of me. It was the best match I've had.
Right.
And ever since then, every time him and I worked, we just beat the crap out of each other.
Nice.
You get that one person that you click with.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a few like Bo Douglas and I have always clicked.
Right.
Rumble and I have always clicked,
Yep.
and I've clicked with Paul, and we just beat the crap out of each other.
Nice. How about there's a young kid that has wrestled for APW a few times. He's a big boy himself. Kevin Giles.
Kevin Giles,
Big kid.
he's at my school.
Yep.
Him and I have become pretty close. He's coming along. He's training. He's getting there.
Right.
He will definitely be a force to reckon with.
Did you wrestle him already, or was that some? I know he had a bit.
He wrestled Malonis.
That's what it was.
I have not wrestled him yet.
Okay.
I mean, we've gone at it
Yeah.
at school training, but I have not wrestled him on a show yet.
Because I remember they both are just so big, man.
He moves pretty well. I mean, he moves
Yeah.
well for his size. I mean, it's like, 6'7".
And he's only been doing it for a short time, right?
Yeah, he there's a lot of work with PG.
Right.
So
Proving ground. Yep. With
Proving
Todd.
ground. Yeah, with Todd. Yeah.
Okay. How about he's making his return to APW this weekend? Mecca Brian Johnson.
Brian's an awesome guy. Very down to earth. The few times that I've talked to him, he at one point he wants to do a seminar with me as well.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna touch base with him on Saturday and see what we can figure out.
All right. How about Widow Belmont's opponent this weekend in the ladder match, Angel Sinclair, who held the APW women's title for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. she's fairly green,
Yep.
but she's all over the place right now. And
Yeah.
that's good. She's got a good head on her shoulders. Another one that gets it.
Right.
And gets it quick. Very respectful. Awesome girl. Awesome.
She just had a match not too long ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, against Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah.
Who just was signed
Signed
by the
WWE,
WWE. And I had talked to her. I asked her how it went, and she was like, just incredible. I mean, how could it not be?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, she's training at Chaotic or
Right. New England Pro Wrestling
yeah,
Academy. Yep.
Sorry.
That's all right.
And she's doing awesome.
Yeah.
She's like a sponge.
Yeah.
Her in-ring work is great.
Nice. And I mean, when she first started and she was just the honeys with Ava.
Yeah.
I mean, even Ava's come a long way herself.
Yeah, they both have.
You know? All right. Ed Hunt. Uncle Eddie.
Uncle Eddie's a character.
He certainly is.
Yeah. He's been around a while. He cracks me up. He's an awesome guy to talk to. He makes me laugh. It's great.
It's so funny, like how he broke into the business and stuff. Like his story was incredible. How he told it. Yeah, like he actually was like kind of working, selling popcorn and stuff at old WWF shows.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
All right. Johnny Vegas.
Johnny Vegas. Much respect for him. Been in the ring with him a few times. He is the epitome of less is more.
Yes.
He really is, and it's amazing. He can run a gimmick with a foreign object and make it last for 20 minutes, and everyone wants to kill him.
Right.
He really is the epitome of less is more. Yeah. Like if you ever looked that up in the wrestling dictionary, Johnny Vegas face is right there.
Right. It
It's
definitely
awesome.
should be. And his tag team partner, who will be having his very first match at APW this weekend, Chase Del Monte.
A lot of respect for him. I like what he's doing over at with him and Brian Fury.
Yep.
Nothing but respect for him. Like I said, we've talked a few times. I mean, I've known him from when we were wrestling before, so great worker.
Okay. Here's a tag team that was pretty much on top when you were probably breaking into the business. The Brotherhood, Nichols Nelson and Eric Sprazier.
I've taken a lot of beatings from them too.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, when I broke in the business, we were, because we were from I was from Kowalski's.
Right.
We were fed to them a lot, and we were actually it's kind of funny because I saw them both at the Tony Rumble
Right.
show. We were laughing that, how far they saw how far I've come, and again, it's all about humility.
Right.
They were brought up a different way into business. I was kind of the same way I was brought up. So, took a lot of beatings from them.
Right.
A lot. And I thank them for it.
Nice. Bugsy Stone.
I love Bugsy. Bugsy's an awesome kid. He does his own thing, beats
Yep.
his own drum. The crowd loves him.
Yeah, they do.
I love Bugsy. Bugsy's awesome.
I just met his parents, couple like that.
Yeah,
last show.
yeah.
Great people.
Oh, they are. They're great.
Great people.
It's awesome. I mean, what can I say about Bugsy? Bugsy's had his demons, but he just keeps
Right.
going.
Yep. Nice.
We all have demons, I should say.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I know I have mine. Big Woody. The late, great Big Woody.
What can I say about Big Woody that I haven't already said? Love him to death. Miss him.
Yep. So respected, though, huh?
Very
This era,
respected.
Like, so respected.
Like I said, I mean, he managed in NWA back in the day. He was with Tony Rumble
Right.
and Pat Dillon and them guys. And he just, like I said, I miss him, He's the one that, when I was going through my personal issues, he would text me or he would pull me aside of the show and say, Stiffy, get your head out of your ass.
Right.
Or he would break my chops about baseball.
Yeah.
And
Huge sports.
he's
fan.
probably rolling right now because of what's going on with baseball right now. But, and believe me, if I wish he was here because I'd be laughing at him right now.
Right.
And he'd be telling me to blow it out my ass. But
yeah.
it is what it is.
Now he's such a great guy. He was
is.
such a big help to this show. Even
yeah.
when he was upset with me about the stuff with Sopel, he still brought Demon here.
Yeah.
Was on the show 5 or 6 times.
Let's not even get into that conversation.
All right. Well, it was
We're
nice.
not touching that one.
Well, it was nice to be able to do something when I had Gina, Sean, and Ed on to give back because he was he really helped me out here.
Listen, I could go on about Woody for days, but it's respect, I mean, his service, his celebration of life was anybody you ever touched their life, he left an impression.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, he had his ups and downs like everybody else.
Right.
But it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me to really say. I don't know. It's just I miss him. There's been times I've caught myself I was gonna text him. Actually, speaking of baseball season, when Red Sox got bounced, I was gonna text him and I forgot he's not even here.
And you're right though. He would be going crazy.
Oh
over this
my
baseball
God,
thing.
he'd be
My
like,
God.
oh yeah,
he would.
yeah. And another thing about Woody is, if you worked for him, he definitely would stick up for you.
Right.
Oh
yeah. You could tell he's just a total stand-up guy.
And it's like when he would ask us to do something, you would do it.
Right.
Because he had that kind of respect.
Yep. All right. How about a former guest here, Bare Knuckle Burley, another one of Woody's buddies.
Yeah, I've Bare Knuckle Burley. I don't know why he stopped wrestling, but I've wrestled him a few times. Good kid. I've always a personal level, him and his wife would always talk to them. Bare Knuckle Burley, he is, he's a cool kid.
Right. Okay. How about Robo?
Robo's got a lot going on for him right now. I like Robo. Robo's another one that gets it.
Right.
I mean, there are some people in the business that, like to think that they're bigger than they are and their heads get to
He's
them.
very humble.
Very humble, very respectful.
Humble, yeah.
And just, he's everywhere too. He's working a lot of shows and making his way in this business, and that's good.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Like I said, though, so respectful, man. Even to a guy like me, when he's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he just.
Well, I mean, that's, because that's the way he was taught.
Right.
I mean, for me, and I teach these to my kids now, you walk into a locker room, you shake everybody's hand, you leave, you shake everybody's hand. Big league people, you don't act like you're better than anybody else, because in reality, nobody's better than anybody else.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. We all have stuff going on, and we just try to be a better person.
Okay. The next guy, I think he's making his return this weekend to APW. John Cena Sr.?
Yeah, I love John Cena Sr. I've known him for years. We've done some stuff together. We were actually at the Old Pavilion in Salisbury.
Yeah.
I think it was a freight trade dance show that he was running. I ended up tying him to a ring post with his tie. Yeah. And then I had driven Walter the next weekend to Raw, and John Cena gave me crap about it. Ribbing me, yeah. So, yeah.
All right. This girl was in Gil Bonk. I think it was her first time wrestling at APW. Sarah Teller.
She's another one. Quiet. She's a quiet girl.
Yeah. She did really good, Mike.
Yeah, she did.
She really did.
Yeah. She's another one that's getting it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I said, some people get it right away, some people don't. Right. If they're coachable, why give up on them?
Yep.
And that's, back to a question about how long does it take? How long do I take to see if they have it or not?
Right.
Boils down to this. If you're coachable, you have some athletic ability, you can be taught.
Right.
Okay. She's real quiet. She's a quiet girl.
Yeah, she's very
quiet. But
I was so happy to see her in the ring. Yeah. And she did so well.
And then she had a match with Widow Belmont. I think the last
show, yeah.
And she did very well.
She did do well. And it was funny. Why I brought her up after John Cena Sr. is because when she was in the ring for the Battle Royal, I happened to just be coming out from taking the trash out, and I seen her, get her entrance. And John Cena Sr. was pretty impressed with her.
Yeah.
I could hear him talking to someone going, this girl is working her ass off.
Yeah.
So that was great. All right, how about Darley Desimont?
Darley's cool. He's a good kid. He's
got a good look.
Does, yeah. Again, respectful.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't really know him that well.
Right.
Just I've had a few deals with him at APW. For what I've seen from his work, he's a good worker.
All right. How about Todd Graham?
I like Todd.
Proving ground. Me too.
Todd's got his own thing going.
Yep.
Got a good mind for the business.
Have you wrestled for his company yet?
No.
Okay.
No. I've wrestled against Todd a few times. And we've always had great matches, and I like working them.
He's a good worker.
Unfortunately, he's hurt and he can't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
But if he ever did step back in the ring, I would love to wrestle him again.
He's definitely a good guy.
I like Todd. Todd's,
me too.
Always been respectful to me.
Yep.
He kind of humbled me when he told me that he used to watch me when he was 12.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So, again, it goes back, you get humbled very quickly in this business.
Right. And he's always been a great guest because he's outspoken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a very intelligent kid.
And that's what I like about Todd. Todd speaks his mind.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like something, he'll say it.
Absolutely.
And I'm the same way, to be honest with you. And believe me, my mother's got me in a lot of trouble over the years. So.
All right. How about, I know he's going to be wrestling this weekend for APW, CJ Cruz.
I like CJ. Unfortunately, I made a lawn dart out of him at the Gil Block, and I apologize for that. But my adrenaline was definitely overflowing, and I was excited. Again, he's respectful. He's being taught well. He's a good worker.
And he's starting to make his name. He got there Beyond, Limitless.
Yep.
He's having a lot of good matches with this kid, the prize Alec Price.
I don't know Alex that well.
No.
Haven't had any dealings with him. From what I see, on the internet, they're having great matches. I'll put it to you this way: if you're out there entertaining the people and you're getting the people involved, you got going the right way.
Right, and he definitely knows the respect. I mean, he's being trained by Bo and them down there. So, all right. How about speaking of down at the Bell Time Club? How about Pat Dillon?
Pat Dillon's I've known Pat Dillon for a while. He's been on here a few times.
Yeah, he's my very first guest.
Yeah. He's got a good thing going. UFO. UFO. Yeah. Pat's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I see him, it's always, it's like we never stop talking.
Right.
And again, I live up in New Hampshire. They're down in Wakefield.
Yeah.
So I don't see them guys all the time, but when I do see them, we always have fun. I saw him. When was the last time I saw him? I saw him I think it was at the Rumble show.
Yeah. I'm sure he was there.
Him and I were talking, It was good seeing all them guys. I haven't seen Bo in a while.
Right.
I haven't seen Jason in a while. Wagner.
Right.
All them guys.
And I mean, you entered the business pretty much with
I entered
those
the business,
guys, all of them.
So Bo and Jay were just probably like maybe 3 or 4 months into Walters when I got in there.
Right.
And we started training together, and it was probably 4 months after I was training, Jason had just started working for EWA with Tony Atlas.
Yep.
And this is how I got in the EWA. Well, you got 3 minutes left.
That's all right.
So Tony Atlas needs somebody to pick up the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'll do it. Booked me on the show, picked up the Iron Sheik at the airport. Longest ride to Vermont in my life. First of all, I had the biggest contact high.
Oh yeah, he must have smoked the whole ride up.
Smoked the whole ride up. Oh my God. So we're driving, and now I'm comfortable driving now.
Yeah.
And he whips out the Tiger Bomb, and then that's it, was gone. And then I started getting paranoid again because he's got a pound of weed in his freaking.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
sheep.
So yeah. So yeah, I mean,
What a character.
I'll tell you right now, this business has allowed me to meet a lot of great people.
Yeah.
So I am I going to keep going? Absolutely. It's in my blood.
All right, got a couple more names, and then we're gonna plug the seminar coming up in the show.
Yep.
We'll put them together because I think they're being a tag team at APW. Ricky Archer and Charlie Cashew, two young kids.
Two young kids. They got good talent.
Yep.
Good look. Still, I think they're still kind of green right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
So I haven't really that's the first time I saw them was last show, and I liked what they saw.
Yeah. I mean, Ricky's only 19 years old.
Yeah.
To be where he's at, he's definitely.
Yeah, I haven't. Like I said, I haven't.
Yeah.
This is the first time I saw them was last show.
Both those guys are really doing a great job. All right, but so on Sunday, February 2nd, you're going to have a Louis Demon Ortiz seminar from 12 to 3 at the Kings of Wrestling School, 28 Oceanfront Street, Salisbury, Mass. 01925. Is there anything you want to add to that about it?
No, it's just like I said. It's a great opportunity to learn from one of the best wrestlers in New England, in my opinion.
No doubt.
He's a New England Hall of Famer. It should be a good time.
Yes.
Hopefully, see some people down there. It's a good seminar, and I will be running more seminars in the future. So, I'm probably going to get questioned why I changed the name to Kings of Wrestling. So, Killer Kowalski, KW, was his initials, and that's one of the reasons why I did it, because I owe a lot to Walter.
Of course.
He made one of my dreams come true. He was a mentor to me.
Right.
And so it's a respect factor for me right now.
Nice.
I have a lot of pictures on the wall of him. So
okay.
Thanks to my wife, because she's went on eBay and found them all for me.
Nice. So this Saturday night, Atlantic Pro Wrestling at the Beverly Salem Lodge of Elks.
Yep.
39 Bow Street, Beverly, Massachusetts. Doors open at 6.
Yep.
And it's going to be a big match between you and Brian Malonis.
Yeah. Mr. Malonis, you and I are going to go at it probably, hopefully, more than once. But believe me, you poked me and you want me to let him out to play. Be careful what you wish for, because we're coming.
Nice. Mike, thanks for being on the show again. Guys, we're out. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.